Hey, Soapboxers, welcome back to another episode. Got a really kind of cool one today. I am going to be talking to the guy behind the curtain, so to speak. We've gotten quite a few questions over time. Some people posting on social media, such like that. Question after the fact for our different podcasts, and even questions that come in just through email. So thought we'd do a podcast about those and see how many of those we could answer in a short enough period of time. I don't bore you all to death, but let me introduce the man behind the scenes, Ray Wagner. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing well, my friend.
Thanks for having me. This is a tough booking to get, so I appreciate you making time.
Yeah, you were super busy. We wedged it in there. Yes.
Thank you.
Again, I was really interested because I thought having these questions that we were getting, they were all kind of particular to certain instances, or how do I fix this, or people feeling like I'm the only one with this problem. And I thought this, well, quite frankly, you thought this would be a really good podcast, and I couldn't have agreed more.
It's true. We do get lots of questions from people, and some people don't want to put their name to the question. Maybe they're embarrassed that they think it's something people would assume they know or whatever. So we thought we would anonymize some questions and hand them to you. So this way, and these are questions from both current clients and from prospects. So this is people that are feeling us out, and also people who already like us.
Anonymous.
Yes.
Anonymize. Okay.
I hope that's a word. I said it so confidently that I think it works.
I tell you what, I'll let you go through and we'll see what we can do to answer some of these questions.
All right. So here, I'm going to start with this first one. The first question is, how do I recruit skilled technicians using digital marketing? This is something that one of our clients has, and I guess they don't want their current employees to realize they're on the hunt. But, it is important to make sure that you have skilled technicians, because all of the marketing in the world doesn't do you any good if the people can't do the job.
I can't disagree more. Digital. So I'm going to assume everybody on here or listening is going to, like, you're doing your recruiting things. You've got, rewards for referrals put in place. I'm going to assume all of that. Like, you're going down to the to your local supply house, handing out cars, doing those kinds of things. Digital marketing, however, starts to come into play when you start thinking about pay-per-click, when you start thinking about geofencing a little bit around those supply houses, so that when people, let's be honest, right? When people are sitting there at the supply house, what are they doing? They're probably scrolling Facebook or Instagram, or they're doing something just to pass the time while they're waiting for the park to get pulled up or what have you. There are ways that you can start targeting those people. Now, I will be clear with you, and I've said probably from the beginning, just targeting them, hey, come work for us, come work for us. They, as much as your clients, they need a reason to consider you, right? Why should I consider coming to work for you? That's a big deal. Some changing jobs might be a big deal to some people. So when you're out there using digital marketing, remember the message. Why should somebody come work for you, right? What do you provide that's different than they're not getting at the next place? That is your ad. That is your message to those people, because just putting your message out there on, say, social media, using geofencing around a certain mile range around a supply house is one thing, but using pay-per-click for job hunting, Indeed actually got a couple of clients a recent couple good employee selections for them. Nothing's going to beat handshakes and people meeting each other out there in the field and getting to know one another and friendships and stuff like that. But as far as digital marketing goes, it goes a long way. Another thing to consider with digital marketing and is schools. You can geofence schools. You can also geofence schools outside of your area. So using some highly targeted ads in areas where there might be a technical school down the road or college would be a really good way for you, even out of state, or would be a really good way for you to bring in talent who might be looking to move to the area.
Yeah, we do have a couple of clients that on their some of our southern clients, some of our clients that are in, like, let's say tropical locations, where they do advertise for hires by saying, come here and live in paradise.
Yeah,
You're right. You geofence a trade school in Boston and go throw away your shovel, you'll never need it again. And you're gonna start attracting people.
Very, very true.
Mark, you actually brought up something. We just got to think from a prospect real quick. Geofencing.
Yeah.
And again, relative to advertising, but you did mention it a couple of times. Could you just quickly go through what is geofencing?
Okay, so geofencing has multiple angles, and I'm going to be honest with everybody here. Right, you talk to 5 marketing companies, and they'll all answer this slightly differently. Years ago, and you guys all remember this, geofencing was, you gotta do this geofencing. As you're walking down the street, you can send coupons to people's phones. Well, that quickly grew out of style because people would just not want to be advertised via text message on their phone, and they were hitting delete and they were hitting block and everything else. So it quickly got out of hand. Well, everybody wanted that, right? Oh, well, if they're driving by my truck and they get an ad, they're going to call me. We've had clients do billboards, drive by the billboard, and you get a text message on your phone. Very popular client out in Phoenix tried that. He had one person mistakenly call him out of something like 20,000 text messages. People don't want to be bothered like that, especially in the services business. You guys need to understand you are there to solve a problem. So geofencing, when it comes to this, understanding what it means to you and how your clients handle it. So the way we use it here is I will geofence areas in which I would like to just show ads by zip code. Maybe if it's densely populated enough, I will have enough of an audience in Facebook where I can say, hey, I want my ads to show up there. But remember, what the ad says needs to be specific to that area. If there's a lot of trees in the area, plumbers, that they're going to have more roots in the system. Let's be specific with that area on that offer, because that's what they're dealing with up there. So geofencing today is a little bit different when it started out. The popularity of the keyword itself kind of grew out of hand, and I need people to understand that, yeah, it's so cool that you get to send proactively to everybody's phone. But would you like that?
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things of where you're right. I want to do this, but do I want it done to me? So exactly,
yeah. Are you more apt to hit? Nope, don't want that. Yeah. Now, if you're walking through an ice cream shop and you get a coupon sent to your phone and you're on vacation, maybe there's something there. But
if you're commuting by that billboard every day, and every day your phone goes off and it's like, how's your plumbing? How's your plumbing? It would get to a point where it's too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just tick somebody off. You gave them a reason not to do business with you.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the guys that bother me all the time. If they're doing that on a billboard, think about if I do business with them, how many emails and text messages I'm going to get that.
They're going to ask for a copy of my key. I can't have that. Okay, Mark, we got one right now from our client. Speaking of big jobs, how can customer financing options help me close high ticket jobs?
Oh, this is you all know the answer to this. Financing is offering consumer financing, customer financing is paramount to any successful business today. People just don't have the money on hand, or they don't want to spend the money on hand, and would much rather create some sort of payment plan. And not put it on a credit card, but have something else where we can do it. Here's your problem. People are still hooked on 0%. Like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, we had 0% everywhere, 0%, 62 months, 72 months, 82. Like, there was obscene offers out there. And then interest rates started to rise. Money got expensive. So that 0% still rings a bell. They're not hearing it as much anymore. I know it costs you, the contractor, more money to offer it, but it is a message that clients, your clients, are looking to hear. Right? They're more apt. Oh, wow! Everybody else is pitching a price or a 9.99%. He's at 0. I'm going to give them a call. Mentally, people don't want to pay the bank. Offer it. And I know that that's a super simple conversation with clients. Here's the deal, and I want you to go back and look at this in your statistics. You offer 0% 60 back in the day. How many people actually took advantage of it? Most ended up saying, oh, well, I'll just pay cash. I had one client tell me he put a 0.60 out there and he had 10 leads from it. 2 took him up on the 0.60. The rest of the people just paid with a credit card or cash. And he's like, but that message got them in.
It's welcoming. It lets them know I'm not going to hand you a problem.
Exactly correct. So I know there's some moral things there, like you've got to charge more to offer the 0% because the banks charge you money to offer it. I get it. There's a little bit of that going on for the consumer, but the consumer still would much rather pay you than the bank.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is one more on the more technical side, from a prospect. What is Google's helpful content update, and how does it impact contractor blogs specifically? Because sometimes people use words and they don't mean what you think they're going to mean.
Okay, you're going to get a couple different answers on this depending upon who you talk to about the helpful content update.
I'm talking to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll tell you this. When you go and read all the documentation that Google put out there, anytime Google does an update, let's start from the basic. Anytime Google does an update, it is to get rid of spam or people tricking their algorithm into top positioning. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, once we understand the reason for the update, getting rid of spam, getting rid of the junk that's out there, focusing on the good quality content that's out there, was that content helpful? Now, Google, and I've seen this a couple of times now, is discounting AI-driven content. Okay. Oh, Mark, I do 3 blogs a week, and I use ChatGPT. Understand that if that's the information that you're using to post out there as helpful content, Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, AI is just summarizing what it already knows. That's it. That's all it's doing. So the helpful content update hurt some of those AI-driven blogs that were out there. And that's what Google was trying to do, ultimately, was get rid of the trash that's in their algorithm. Right? Get rid of the stuff that can already be found elsewhere. Yes, it's written differently, it's unique, but it's not helpful. So a better plan, and this is something that I want everybody to understand, is Google was looking for actually helpful content. Were you answering people's questions in a unique manner specific to you, right? How would you answer the question of when's a good time to replace your air filter? How would you answer the question? Not what everybody else says, what you say. How you do an air conditioning repair, how you do a water heater flush, how you replace an outlet. These are all things people are searching for, and they want uniqueness. Google's looking for the unique perspective. What would you tell a client in the field? That now I watched a bunch of blogs from prior written content, kind of some of them just nosedive off the face of the planet because it was entirely AI driven. There's and I know what you're all thinking. Hey, Mark, what if I do AI, but then I post a few things in there? Absolutely, go for it. But again, that's if you're not dominating that page of content with uniqueness, your perspective on things, it's just noise in the water. You're not doing yourself any favors. There's a testing thing that I stumbled onto. Put this down there, Ray. Quillbot, Quillbot. It's a free testing thing. You can put it in there. Test your blogs. Is it coming back as AI driven? Is it coming back as AI driven with some thoughtfulness behind it? Like, it'll give you some insight into how search engines might see your blog posts. I will tell you this. Do we write AI driven content? Sure, Leads Nearby has done it in the past. Did I see success from it? I certainly did not. We started not using AI content in favor of writing, interview style, the they ask you answer kind of style of content writing and building, adding videos, photos, doing more than just writing content to write content. Answer people's questions. Honestly.
Yeah, you taught me that too, Mark, that Google really is a business. Google's customers are the people searching. And so the better the answers you give, the more likely they are to show it, because that's how they serve their customers.
That's exactly right. Google's a for-profit firm. This is nothing. There's no
an altruism.
Exactly. Take and think about it that way. Google wants their customers to be happy to keep coming back and using Google services. Are you helping Google in that regard? And if you are, and the way to determine it is if you're starting to show up, like the majority of Leads Nearby clients are showing up in that Gemini summarized search up at the top. You see yourself up there, be proud. You have helpful content and Google is rewarding you for it.
Mark, you did touch on this too. A lot of clients, this might even be more than just one. Are there any cons of using AI? It seems like all upside. And one of the things that you mentioned is that it's really of a recycling machine. And it seems like one of those things that's it's like paneling on the walls. One day everyone's gonna go, this is out. It's everywhere and it stinks.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. Everybody's using it. You're not going to want it anymore,
right?
And Google's not going to see any value in it. You're just rewriting what it already knows. That's Google. That's AI content. Images are kind of weird, et cetera, so forth. There's all kinds of things that are. I wouldn't use AI content for that reason. Now, where does AI fit? I love it for data analysis. Like when you take your phone call recordings or transcripts and plug them in and say, where are the holes? What am I missing? What are the questions people are asking? What are our answers to those? That is an amazingly powerful tool when it comes to it. Otherwise, right now, it's just a summary of what it already knows. That part of it is something I think clients need to get around, right? Mark, such and such marketing firm can build me a website in 30 days using AI driven. Like, what value then does it have?
Right. Again, would you want to go to that website? Would you find that website answers your questions? And the answer is probably not.
It's probably not. It was fast. I'll give you that. It was a fast solution and probably less expensive. Why? Because they didn't have to hire anybody to go and do that work. They just had to plug in something into the search, into a query.
Yeah.
Think about it from your own perspective.
Yeah. We use AI for data collation here at Leads Nearby a lot too. And the thing that's really good about that is that it's only a middle step. So when you use it for the end result of like content, it could put out, an AI hallucination or whatever. But when you're using it as an intermediary step to understand your clients or understand the information that you have, then you get to double check it in real time and be like, okay, this is saying that people, with consonants in their names don't like our operators. Let me find out if that's really true.
Right.
Yeah.
I went and used it for research. Hey, help me find sites that have references to water quality in certain areas. And it went out and found PDFs and things that I could then reference in an article, right? And give them reference links. Like that's what you're looking for. You want to be the reference that Google pulls back or the ChatGPT pulls in. You want to be that reference. And when you think about it that way, it's not as daunting.
You know, I remember I uploaded a picture of myself when I was applying for jobs, and I said, find me a company where the boss would look almost exactly like a variant of me. And that was a huge use for AI because I realized we look very similar as I'm looking at the two of us on the screen together. You know, we have a lot of similarities here.
There's only two. The world can't handle two of us. What else you got?
Local news sites. One of the things that we've talked about is the importance of press releases. How do you get featured in local news sites, and why would you want to?
All right. So this comes back to branding, your name recognition, content, helpful content, your authority in your area. Put yourself in the shoes of a reporter right now, right? There's a water quality issue going on. That reporter needs an authority to question about water quality at the consumer or customer level. Who better than you, who's in homes and doing the water quality testing? Like, now, how do they find you? One, I would have something on your website about you, your authority, your training. Give me some videos, that kind of thing. Have something on your website.
Media contact, which literally implies, like, if you're in the media and you're looking for someone to talk to, yeah,
and have a bio on yourself. Media contact. Secondly, I would be sending things to all of your clients, to the local newspapers, the radio stations, anybody. Hey, here's my contact information, even a bio, put it in a folder, send it to them. If you need any quotes on anything to do with these topics, I would more than happily be part of them. And just sit back and wait. They'll contact you. They'll save that information. Not all of them. A lot of them will. The good ones will.
But when there's a story about electrical storms or something, or whatever, every year you go through storms. Every year they've got to make that content. It just takes being the voice of it one or two times. It's a huge increase.
It is, and now your name is out there. You're branding your image or who you are in the marketplace. Now, what's the benefit? A lot of everybody here is probably already connected the dots. Backlinks. You're going to have authoritative links on the newspaper websites, etc., that end up pointing back to your website. Exactly what Google is looking for to prove your authority, right? They still use backlinks. There's no doubt about it. And when you have authoritative websites pointing back to your website, that's an amazingly powerful tool.
The other thing that comes up too is that helps you get chosen when your name is in search results. That's another thing that you've talked about.
Yeah. Somebody does a search for your brand, right? And the news article pops up. Oh, they are an authority. Like, it helps. You can use it in the field. Print the articles off. Put it on your website as published in. Like, these are things that you see it all the time in e-commerce websites, right? As seen on, as published in. Like, yes, you create yourself an authority. There was a client down in Texas. He did this. He had some information on his website unique to, I forget the topic. It was a plumbing, it was an HVAC company. I forget the topic. I think it was the changeover in the refrigerants. But because he had information on his website and about him, he was contacted and given that as an option. He was quoted in the article. A lot of you guys look on contractor magazines and stuff like that, and you put your, like, hey, how did he get mentioned? Put your name in the hat. You will get mentioned. They're not going to come to you if they've already got people in front of them that they can contact. Beat that person. Put your name in the hat. And what are they going to tell you? What's the worst thing that they could possibly say to you after you send in your bio? No, thanks.
Yeah.
That's the worst that's going to happen.
Yeah.
The authority.
Yeah. Mark, thank you so much for making time to answer all these questions.
It's been my pleasure.
And again, this is a great podcast.
I just want to say, a lot of fun. I like these questions, rapid fire. If you have questions, hit me up, mark@leadsnearby.com. Please have, and no questions too silly, no questions too small, no question. I'm happy to try to answer them or get you to the touch of the person that can. I don't know everything. I don't know all these answers. And I am sure I missed something with geofencing or with, maybe somebody has a different idea or something they can add to digital marketing and recruiting. Like, I'm open to learning. These are just stories that I've heard and how people have used them and seen success from them. Always remember, right? Give people a reason to do business with you. Don't assume they will know what that is. Don't assume that people will know that you're a nice guy. Tell them, show them, prove it. Don't assume somebody will say, oh, just because I'm number one, they're going to click on me and buy something from me. Nope. They still want a comfort level in who you are and what you do. Look at if anybody go, if you're watching this either now or in the future, go to your statistics, ask your marketing company, what have you. I will almost bet you, guarantee you that your About Us page or your team page is one of the 5 most visited pages in your website. Almost for the entire Leads Nearby group of websites, historically and currently, About Us page was in the top 5 almost across the board. Maybe in the 6th position for some clients, but About Us page. Why is that? They want to know who they're doing business with. Go spend some time on your About Us page. There's your bonus for the day.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Be safe out there, everybody. Thank you.
It's Mark Sherwin's Contractor Marketing Soapbox. Call Mark to learn more. 919-758-8420.